And you're back with me, Cool Dude Clem. I know it's a bit noisy in here, but it's the middle of summer, I've got the fan on full, it's about 32 degrees in this room and I love it. Anyway, before we start, I'm going to tell you a little true story. So, sitting comfortably? Okay then, did you know that a long time ago there was no such thing as smartphones? Yeah, I know. Crazy, isn't it? Phones existed, but they were known as landline phones. There was a physical wire that connected the phone to the network, and you didn't have a screen or texting or anything like that. All you could do was make and receive calls. So what did you do when you were out and you needed to call someone? Well, there were these little booths that had a phone in them, and you could make calls there. Boy, that sucked. Hooray for smartphones! Smartphones are the best thing ever. Or are they? Now, I know how it can be a good idea to have some kind of mobile phone with you when you're out and about for emergencies and things like that, but posting every second of your life on Facebook or whatever while you're out? Well, come on. You can do that at home on a computer. You don't need to take all this social media stuff with you. People today cannot go outside for more than 2 seconds without whipping it out. Their phone, that is. Everybody is constantly on their phones these days, and I'm sick of it. I don't know why today everybody feels it's so necessary to be connected to everybody else 24/7. They are tech zombies. There's no other way I can put it. They spend their lives in a zombie-like state, on their phones, rotting their brains in a world of text and social media. Come to think of it, I just think I've solved the mystery of why zombies want brains so much. Because they've wasted theirs on their phone. And what's with selfies? Why do people feel it's so necessary to take a picture of themselves every 5 minutes and post it? Back in my days when you went out, it was to meet up with friends, go shopping, take the dog for a walk, things like that. But nowadays, people are obsessed. They're addicted to their phones. They are so addicted to their phones that they don't notice anything going on around them. Even if a nuclear apocalypse happened right next to them, they wouldn't even notice it. Until they find out on their phone, of course. People fall down holes, walk into walls and things like that, just because they can't take their eyes off the screen and take notice of what's going on around them. They live in their phones. And let's not forget, texting while driving. If you need to text someone, wait till you get home or pull over. Then text your fellow idiot. Nothing's important enough that you have to make that text right there and then. And when I first heard of this texting while driving thing, I thought, no way, no way. Even in this world of complete stupidity that we live in, nobody could ever be that stupid. Turns out I was wrong. People are so into their phones now that every day when I go out, almost everybody I see has their phone out. One time I saw 2 people within easy conversational distance of each other. They both had their phones out and they were talking to each other through their phones. I'm serious. I'm not making that up. They could have easily talked directly to each other, but because I guess talking directly to each other is old-fashioned and not cool anymore, they had to do it through their phones. Another time I saw a young couple and one of them had their phone out, of course, and this person was yammering away like you could expect, like everybody else does these days. So I guess being on the phone is more important than a happy relationship. Another time I was walking to the shop and everybody I saw on my way had their phone out. Even people on a date somewhere, like at a restaurant or something, inevitably one or both people will get their phone out and pay more attention to their phone instead of each other. There was one time I saw this phone ad, and everybody looked headless because they all had their heads down, texting away on their phones. And do you know what's even more crazy? Smartphones have actually spawned a new phobia. Nomophobia, which is the fear of being without a smartphone. I'm serious. I'm not making that up. Honest to goodness, smartphones have made a new phobia. Without their smartphone, they get uneasy, they cannot stop thinking about it, and they cannot stop pondering the ultimate question of all time. What's happening on Facebook right now? Anyway, these tech zombies would rather be with their phone than be with their friends, because their phone is more important to them than anything else. Even if it's a really good friendship, at least one of them will inevitably reach for their phone at some point. And even in the most unlikeliest places, you'll still find somebody using their phone. Oh, but we're only halfway done. I've got a lot more things to complain about. Something that bugs me now is that if you buy some kind of new gadget, you have to pair it with your phone. So, instead of a remote control, like things used to have, you use an app on your phone. And in most cases, that's the only way you can do it. So, if you don't have a smartphone and you buy some new gadget, well, you won't be able to use it if you don't have a phone. It's ridiculous. Okay, sure, I guess that prevents you from losing the remote, but come on. The thing that really annoys me personally about smartphones is they replaced all the technology that I grew up with. Computers, TV, VHS, cassettes, radio, personal stereos, games consoles, cameras. All of it is done on a phone now. So what's next? Remote controls? No, wait, that happened as well. I like the old ways. I like to use separate devices. If you do everything on your phone, like everybody else does, you lose everything if your phone conks out. No TV, no games, no radio, no internet. Think about it. I use a computer for the internet, not a phone. I like a decent sized screen. I watch TV shows and movies on a TV, not a phone. Watching on a tiny little screen with a tinny mono speaker is not my idea of quality. I like to see what's going on without needing a magnifying glass. I play games on a computer, not a phone. Touch screens do not make good game controllers. Ever try to play Sonic with a touch screen? It's impossible. I listen to my music on tape, MP3, vinyl, reel-to-reel and mini-disc, not a phone. I like good sound. And don't get me started on those silly little earbuds that won't even stay in your ear for more than 5 seconds. I record videos with a camcorder, not a phone. I prefer optical zoom over digital zoom, and I like to have plenty of storage for my footage. People get even more stupid when the next phone comes out. Their old phone still works, but no, they're like, duh, look, new phone, must have, it got more useless time wasting stuff, it's new, me like new stuff. Is it really worth it to buy a new phone just to have one more useless feature you don't even need? Even talking on the phone is becoming less and less of a thing now. Instead, it's being used for everything else. I can see a time when nobody will talk on a phone anymore, despite the fact that that's what phones were originally designed for. I can see a time when phones won't even have the feature to make and receive calls, yet it will still be called a phone. You see, as this generation in the not too distant future has gotten to the point where nobody makes calls anymore, or even remembers that phones could do that, that feature might as well be canned. Nobody will miss it, and they'll still call it a phone, despite the fact that it now does nothing that phones were actually designed for. And to sum up, mobile phones shouldn't have come this far. It's a phone, for freak's sake. It doesn't need all those features. I think when they got to that indestructible Nokia thing, that is where it should have stopped. Phone technology shouldn't have advanced any further than that. And that's my rant about cell phones, or smartphones, or iPhones, or whatever the flipping flip they're called now. And until next time, goodbye.